Hey TNTers, hope you guys are having a good week, and I hope you're keeping up with your verses and lessons. Today we're going to talk about faithfulness. So what is faithfulness? Well, faithfulness is loyalty, or doing what you say you're going to do. If you say you're going to do it, you do it. And we can see that God is both of those things. Throughout our study of grace, we can see where God promises us that there will be a Redeemer. All the way back with Adam and Eve, He promised them that there would be a Redeemer. He promised Abraham, He promised Moses, He promised David, He promised us. And He did. He sent a Redeemer, and that man was Jesus Christ. God made that promise, and He kept that promise. And we can see God's faithfulness to us in all sorts of big and small ways in our life, how He promises us to take care of us. And, well, that should inspire us to want to be faithful to Him, to be more like Him, in fact. Just as He's faithful, we should want to be faithful as well. But how do we do that? How do we show faithfulness to God? Well, we can look in the book of Colossians, chapter 1, verse 10. And we can see where Paul says to the Colossians that they might walk worthy of the Lord unto all pleasing, being fruitful in every good work and increasing in the knowledge of God. So what does that mean? Well, simply it means that we might walk worthy of the Lord. In other words, that we might live our lives in a way that is pleasing to God, that is worthy of God. That we might be fruitful in every good work, that in our lives we might have good works, all kinds of good works. You remember last week we spoke about showing kindness and doing good for others. That's exactly what that's talking about. And increasing in the knowledge of God, well, that's learning about God, learning about His Word and what He says. How do we do that? Well, it's obvious. We start by reading the Bible and praying. Because praying is how we speak to God. And reading His Word is how God will speak to us. And you don't ever understand someone or get to know someone if you don't talk to them. And that means you have to speak to them, but then you also have to listen to them. You can't just do one or the other. But after we do that, we need to do more. We need to actually think about those things. You know, a lot of people forget what they pray about, and then they forget what they read, and it doesn't do any good. We need to think about those things, because only after we've thought about it can we put it into action, and that is the key. Having all the knowledge in the world does no good if you don't use it. And after we have that knowledge, we can start putting it into practice. And importantly, we can decide to put it into practice. We have to choose before the time is really needed to that we're going to follow God. If we wait till it's do or die moment to choose whether or not we're going to do the right thing, we're probably going to wimp out. And we're probably just going to go along with what everyone else around us tells us to do. And that's not faithfulness. And God would never do that. That's not what God does to us. God sticks with us no matter what. We should do the same to Him. We should stick to it and be faithful no matter what, even when it's dark and scary. We need to stick to it. And when it gets dark and scary, we can remember a verse, Psalm 119, verse 105. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. When you have a lamp, it shows the light. It shows you what's right in front of you. It doesn't show you what's over here. It doesn't show you what's over there. It doesn't show you what's behind you. It shows you what's right in front of you, the path right in front of you. It doesn't show you 4 miles down the road either. Just right here. That's all we need. When we trust God to be faithful, we can just follow that path we see right in front of us. And the more we follow that path, the easier it becomes to do so. The more we can be faithful to God, and we can trust that God will be faithful to us. So I hope you guys practice being faithful this week. See you next week. Good night.